Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and a warm welcome to our second online chat session. I'm Madam Ong from the Diploma in Food, Nutrition and Culinary Science, or FNC for short, and I will be hosting this session, continuing on our theme, Insights into Careers in the Food and Nutrition Industry. Another amazing lineup of speakers are joining me this morning. Mr. Andrew Jo, founder, president, CEO of Tanglok Restaurants. Miss Parimala Siva Peruman, a sport dietitian with Singapore Sport Institute. Miss Jocelyn Huang Yanling, dietetic technologist with Sengkang General Hospital. And last but not least, we have Miss Nurul Fitriani binti Imran, our third-year student who had just completed her internship in Dairy Farm Group. In the ever-changing world of work, what skill sets must an employee have? Will your dream job still be there when you graduate? Or would automation and technology have taken over? Is our curriculum relevant and robust to equip you with skills relevant to the workplace of the future? Let us continue to explore these issues together. To begin, we have F&B industry veteran, Mr. Andrew Jo, founder, president, CEO of Tanglok Restaurants, and vice president of Franchising and Licensing Association Singapore, are among his many portfolios. Mr. Andrew, thank you to be with us here today.
Hi, good morning.
F&B industry. Can you share with us some successful transformations that have taken place or are taking place?
I think I missed the question. I think there was a break.
Okay, let me repeat. You are well known for your passion in revolutionizing the F&B industry. Can you share with us some successful transformations that have taken place in the industry or are currently taking place?
Yeah. Okay. We have been in this business for 36 years now. Tanglok Group was founded in 1984. And the reason why we're still here because we have undergone many rounds of transformation. Otherwise, you wouldn't see us here. So F&B industry is all about rejuvenation. It's about constant transformation. So we have how many concepts now? I think we have at least 18 different concepts. So these concepts are targeting a different group of audience. We have certain brand targeting family, certain brand targeting millennials, and also for corporate fine dining. So, the choice are there. So other than restaurants business, we are also in other food-related business like manufacturing of heat and serve. Because, COVID-19 has changed many things in the food industry. So I would say the F&B business of the future must have dine-in, delivery, and retail component. So that you will be more secure. Especially when we face problem like this COVID-19 pandemic. I was quite surprised to see our heat and serve this frozen food, frozen gourmet business pick up by almost 400%, comparing to pre-COVID. So it is still growing, and now you can even see those hit and serve uh, packet food available in some of our restaurants. So for those people who enjoyed our food, they can now take home and they can enjoy it anytime they like. So I think you see a lot of transformation going on in the food industry. We also see casualty. We see many restaurants folded or cannot continue for many reasons. At the same time, we also see new concept coming up, right? So the nature of F&B business is they are very resilient, they are very adaptable, and perhaps because F&B business are headed by people who are generally more creative, they're more daring, they're more innovative. So I think innovative thinking, creative thinking is very essential. So I would encourage anyone who think that you enjoy creativity, you like to be creative, you like to create, to try F&B business. I think you will find it very rewarding.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. That is certainly good news for fans of the Thang Lok Restaurant Group. Mr. Andrew, you may be aware that our diploma trains R&D chefs. Do you see a role for R&D chefs in this revolution or transformation?
Absolutely. I think R&D chefs can find their future in two areas. One in the food industry and also in the restaurant sectors. So, well, for example, we have chefs who left. My former chef left the restaurant and then joined a food flavoring company, an international firm, and become an R&D chef. And he's very good because he know how to mimic the taste of laksa, the taste of nasi lemak, and create certain flavor. So that product eventually become popcorn, so it becomes snacks, and those are the work of an R&D chef. But in the restaurants, we also need R&D chefs to keep creating new innovative dishes. Now you see there are many new ingredients, like, for example, future. The more well-known one is impossible meat lah. It's in impossible meat, and then there's a similar one called future, with a PHUTURE, right? And then there's an omni meat. Some call it omni pork. It's not pork. It's all plant-based. And another one, which we are working with right now, is the vegetarian butcher, or TVB. So we need R&D chef to use all these new ingredients to create interesting new dishes. Not only plant-based. It can be anything. Can be seafood. Can be anything. Yeah. So our R&D chefs will always have a place in the food related industry. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Andrew. Now we know where we can send our R&D chef interns to. I'm sure there'll be lots of internship places with Thang Lok Restaurant Group. Mr. Andrew, from central kitchens to cloud kitchens, from food deliveries to maybe drone delivery someday, for members of our audience keen to pursue a career in the fast-paced, rapidly changing F&B industry, what advice do you have?
Okay, I think cloud kitchens is getting quite popular. So we see this not only Food Panda, Deliveroo also have a cloud kitchen, and this pandemic has also created many new cloud kitchens uh, created by restaurateurs like us. So we also have cloud kitchen. So I think this is a new development, and this development has been accelerated because of the pandemic, right? So I would say this is a good development. It provides budding F&B entrepreneurs or those chef wannabe a chance to try out their food concept without costing them arm and leg. Because to create a restaurant can be an expensive affair, and I don't think this is the right time to take big risk, right? And we are still in the middle of a pandemic. I think you have to really take calculated risk, especially when it comes to creating restaurant. It is not for I would say it is not for newcomers. For new comers, I would still advise them to join an existing restaurants, get some experience, and learn some on the job knowledge, because there are a lot of things which you couldn't imagine when you are still in school. So the cloud kitchen, I see a very good development because, for example, if I don't have any present, I don't have any outlet at the Tampines area, and there is a cloud kitchen operator there. So I may set up a kitchen there and put 2 to 3 brands, and it only cost me a few $1,000s a month, right? So I think that could be a worthwhile business. And I may not have a restaurant near Clementi, so there is a if there is a cloud kitchen operator there, I may set up a kitchen at Clementi, because typically the size of each kitchen is quite small. It's only like about 200 square feet, yeah. And then there is a common storage, a common freezers. So your cost is more manageable, yeah. And if you make it, that's good. If you fail, you can just leave, and it will not cost you arm and leg. Yeah. So you mentioned about the delivery services. I think delivery services are good for our business, especially right now. So we use them quite a lot. We deal with Odoo, Grab, Food Panda, Deliveroo, all these. And I would like to repeat what I said earlier. The future for restaurant is actually a combination of dine-in, delivery, and retail. So for delivery part, uh, to set up our own delivery, in my opinion, is quite uh, not so practical, because it costs a lot of money to set up a delivery fleet, and it is better to work with an existing partners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew, for providing us insights and advice into careers for F&B professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker, Miss Parimala, is a sport dietitian. Sport dietitian. That sounds like a glam job. Travel for overseas meets, rub shoulders with the likes of Joseph Schooling or Irfan Fandi. Miss Parimala, does this describe your job role, duties, and responsibilities? Miss Parimala, can you unmute, please?
Oh, sorry about that. Thanks, Madam Wong, for having me here. I would certainly say that we are definitely the backstage support system behind the star. Rubbing shoulders with all these athletes, we do talk to them basically, but the job requires for me to work with the developmental and elite sports. It's just not the Olympic level sports, but also developmental sports. So we have a great range of athletes working with us. So I would say that my primary role is to provide evidence-based sports nutrition support to high performance sports, and by via one-on-one counseling, providing workshops to athletes, parents, coaches, and also involving in research interventions to continuously find ways to push the performance benefits with appropriate nutrition strategies actually. However, the glam of this job, I would think, is working with the team that makes it happen. That is basically working with the sports scientists. That includes the biomechanics, physiology, psychology, strength and conditioning, as well as the medical team, includes the doctors and physiotherapy, and of course, not forgetting the coaches. And we're all exploring and experimenting ways to help the athletes to reach the podium success. So that's the primary role of a sport dietitian. That's my role basically. And of course, we have on top of that a secondary role that provide support for community outreach program for which is managed by the Active Health. So I would say that it is an exciting job. I still love doing this. Yeah.
Thank you. Miss Parimala, can you tell us something challenging about your job?
Okay. The challenge of this job is it's not a typical 9 to 5 p.m. job. It's not a, you may need to work beyond the hours because you need to conduct workshops or do some intervention research, and that's when the athletes and coaches are available, and so that could be a challenge. But at the same time, it is interesting because you are meeting them and conveying whatever the knowledge that you have, hoping that it's to advantage for them. Traveling is exciting. It always excites everyone, but on top of that, it can be quite stressful as well because of the countries you're traveling to. You need to understand the requirements needed, the nutritional requirements. It's available in the country as well. As much as it's exciting, there are challenges in that area, but it's all about managing, the stress level and managing the outcome. And lastly, talking to the athletes and coaches. So communication skills are a key factor. So we are constantly learning. I'm constantly learning how to speak to them, get them all in the same book, align our thoughts and process, and see how we can actually help the athletes in their performance benefits, basically. Yeah.
Thank you. Miss Parimala, sport dietitian or sport nutritionist, are they the same? And how does one get accredited?
Yeah, it's always a confusing, statement. Like, with are you a dietitian or nutritionist? What does it mean? What's the difference? A lot of people are not aware of that, but they do understand that we deal with food, so that's quite a good plus point, positive. So as a dietitian, basically, actually they are trained to provide, individual counseling, dietary counseling. So, and then medical nutrition therapy, group dietary therapy, and food service management as well. And so they undergo clinical attachment with hospitals and also community health settings, basically. But as for a nutritionist, it's different. They are tertiary qualified to provide support for public health nutrition, policy making, research, and community health. They do not undergo clinical attachment with the hospitals and community setting. So, so a dietitian can call themselves a nutritionist, but a nutritionist can't call themselves a dietitian because they do not have the trained clinical attachment, basically. So in terms of getting accreditation, it's about dietitians and nutritionists. So if you want to be a sport dietitian, on top of getting the degree, you can always do a postgrad cert with the International Olympic Committee or Sport Dietitian Australia, or a lot of universities are providing courses, short courses on sports nutrition, and to provide you some knowledge on the sports nutrition so that you can actually use that in practice. In terms of accreditation itself, it's based on you can obtain it via the country's authorized allied health councils. And for example, in Singapore, the Singapore Nutrition and Dietetic Association provide accreditation for dietitians and nutritionists. And if you are trained in the United Kingdom, then the HCPC with the Health and Care Professional Council give accreditation to a dietitian, and Association of Nutrition gives you accreditation for a nutritionist. So when you actually do a postgrad cert to understand about the sports nutrition concept, then you call yourself as a sport dietitian, basically. So that's how it goes.
Ms. Parimala, what are some essential skill sets a sport dietitian must have?
Okay, that's really a good question. Personally, I would highlight 5 that would be quite useful skill set to become a dietitian, to be generally, yeah. Firstly is to able to translate knowledge to practice. So you have all the knowledge from the education you have gone through, but how are we going to translate it into practice? How are we going to interpret it and provide in a simple, logical manner to an athlete population or general population? That's really, really important. So it's the ample of knowledge there. So how are we going to do that? So that's a good skill set to develop. Next will be to develop an analytical mindset, looking into the problems, what are the problems are there, think about the possible solutions, and constantly analyzing it. That would be a great skill set. Of course, communication skill, which is a key factor for counseling itself. So when we talk about communication, people would think about talking, but it's just not talking, but it's about listening to the athletes, listening to the coaches, sports scientists. What are they saying? What are the issues they have? Analyzing it, and working with them to see what are the possible nutritional guidance and strategies they can provide for them. And that would be, a great counseling skill itself. So that would be great. And lastly, and the fourth one will be how are you going to, provide knowledge to the public and to the athlete population or the stakeholders that you're handling. So presentation skill is one of the key things. So how are you going to reach out to them? So if you could actually develop the presentation skills, that would really help in delivering your messages clear and concise, and they can take home important messages that you are trying to say. And lastly, of course, being a team player. So working with the multidisciplinary. So you can't work alone. You have to work with the multidisciplinaries, as I mentioned earlier, the sports scientists, the sports medicine team, the coaches, the parents, the stakeholders, all of them, working with them and finding ways how to actually help one's, better health or better performance. So that are the skills that I think that is important.
Thank you, Ms. Parimala. We will certainly take these 5 points into consideration. Are there any more areas that you think we can prepare or equip our students who are interested in this career path?
Yes, a lot of interns are coming in, and a lot of people I meet, they're interested in being a dietitian and nutritionist. That's great, really great. What I would really recommend is actually to get an observation attachment with industry itself. So there's a lot of industries available that you can explore and get in touch with them to see what a dietitian do. What is their daily work like? Or what a sport dietitian's work would be like, and that will actually give you a better idea, a better sense of the job itself, and also make you understand whether it fits your character. Different people have different character, and also fits your personal interest as well. So that would be definitely a recommendation that I usually provide, and of course on top of do look up for the accredited dietetics program. There's a lot of dietetics program in the market. People might get confused, which is good, which is not good, which is right, which is not right. So a quick list is you can actually retrieve from the Sports Nutrition and Dietetics Association. There's a website, and it will tell you all the accredited dietetics program, which universities, and you can start exploring what would be suitable for you. And if you're interested in sports nutrition, then go ahead and take a postgraduate, and that will work nicely for you.
Thank you, Ms. Parimala, for your very helpful advice. I'm sure you can look forward to many of our students joining you for our internship.
That's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, the question and answer platform is open for you to post questions. Please refer to the information on the screen and the scrolling banner. We would like to share a very short video done by our diploma students.
Hi, welcome to the Diploma of Food, Nutrition and Culinary Science, or FNC for short. I heard you are interested to learn more about this course.
Yes, I love food and I would like to know more on how to help others improve their health and diet.
For me, I'm interested in developing healthier recipes and food products, and maybe work in the food industry in the future.
Great, you actually get to learn all of that in this course. Come, let's show you how student life in FMC looks like.
Well, didn't know we get some exposure. Yeah, we hope that today's tour has given you a quick introduction to our 3-in-1 course that offers food, nutrition, and culinary science. You actually get to choose what you prefer. Your second year.
Oh, there's so many job opportunities from healthcare, food service, and food science. I can't wait to join this course.
Oh wait, we actually have an interest group called FIG that organizes activities for FNC students. From field trips to even culinary competitions. And we even go on overseas trips that centers around food, of course.
I'm so glad you came down to visit you guys. Yeah, so we really hope to see both of you on campus with us soon.
I hope that you enjoyed the short clip. Our third speaker is a very own alumnus. Miss Jocelyn Huang graduated in 2010. Miss Jocelyn, you have worked as a dietetic technologist, firstly in Tan Tock Seng Hospital and currently in Sengkang General Hospital. Would you share with us your main duties and responsibilities? What are common and what are not in these two workplaces?
Okay, thank you everyone. Good morning. Thanks for inviting me to share. As a dietetic technician, I help the dietetics team to provide quality meals and services to our patients. In Tan Tock Seng Hospital, I was stationed in the kitchen to ensure food quality and safety. I conducted tasting to make sure that the dishes are not salty or sweet. I make sure that the texture modified diets are within the standards that are set by the speech therapists. I work closely with the chef, dietitians, and speech therapists on the new menus and ensure that the recipes were correctly followed. As a dietetic technician in Sengkang Hospital, I have more clinical exposure, such as assisting the dietitians in patient assessment and liaising with nursing homes on patients' feeds or the oral intake.
Thank you, Jocelyn. I see this little piece of equipment, a salt meter, I believe, in your photos. Can you tell us a little more about it?
Okay, so this salt meter was used to test the saltiness level of the dishes that are prepared by the kitchen. There were many trials going on to check the accuracy level and consistency of the salt meter. The salt meter, if is accurate, can assist in checking the sodium level of the cooked products, which in turn probably can help to control the overall taste for the patients.
Thank you. How has the training from our diploma helped you?
During the course, I learned the science behind food, nutrition, and cooking. I picked up hands-on skills through the projects and labs. My internship and major project also focus on the patient care and meal services. I am comfortable overseeing the food preparation in hospital kitchens, as well as assisting the dietitian in clinical care.
Wonderful. And do you have any plans for upskilling in the future?
I'm currently looking into the culinary upskilling. I believe to help patients and everyone else to achieve a sustainable, healthy eating behavior, culinary skills and nutrition knowledge are the first step in the right direction.
It has been great catching up with you, Jocelyn. We wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you, Madam Ong.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's hear what Miss Nurul Fitriani, our third-year student, has to share about her internship experience in Dairy Farm Group. This pan-Asian retailer operates supermarkets, hypermarkets, and convenience stores. You are surely familiar with Cold Storage, Giant, 7-Eleven, Marketplace, and Jason's. Miss Nurul Fitriani, what are your first impressions of this real work experience?
All right, thank you, Madam Ong, and hello, everyone. All right, let me just start off with a brief overview about the company that I was attached to. So I was attached to Dairy Farm at the Fresh Distribution Center department. So it basically secures the quality of fresh products by offering a complete cold chain management system in a warehouse. So this internship has provided me with hands-on work experience where I get to handle food products, which helped me to prepare for my future career. It also allows me to explore to decide whether this career path is right for me. As I get to test out any specific techniques or knowledge that I have regarding Singapore food standards or food distribution, and I also can know what kind of duties I can expect to encounter in my chosen fields. So once I graduate, I am more likely to feel confident in my decision.
Thank you. Would you describe the tasks assigned to you during internship as shown in these two lovely photos that you have shared with us?
All right, so at the Fresh Distribution Center, I assist the QA/QC team, which is the Quality Assurance Quality Control team, to do inspection on fresh products to ensure that it meets a defined set of quality criteria. So as you know, for any food that are stored in a warehouse, quality inspection will be conducted. So for my role, I require to do to check for any cosmetic or decay defects on fruits, such as like oranges, grapes, blueberries, to see if there is any defects like bruising, molding, chilling, injuring, or discoloration. So to do so, a sampling size will be selected to inspect, and we must know what are the tolerance of defect is allowed. And they also require rejecting of carton should any of the quality attributes is not acceptable. Other than that, I also liaise with different suppliers or vendors to ensure that all the product specifications comply with the Singapore food regulations. So, for example, if like certain food contain food additive, I need to ensure that it must be permitted under the Singapore food regulation. So with that, my day-to-day duties is to do follow-ups with different suppliers to ensure that to get their product specification forms of their respective SKUs, as well as compiling and updating the information.
How has the training from the earlier 4 semesters helped you during internship?
Okay, so the school has definitely prepared me well before I even joined this internship program. So throughout the first semester, I've learned relevant knowledge regarding Singapore food standards from different modules such as food safety, food additive, food preservation and quality assurance, and other modules as well. So with that, I am confident in handling the task that was assigned to me, which is to oversee the product specification. I also have adequate hands-on experience through laboratories as well as project where I also required to use the different Singapore regulation websites to complete my assignments. So with that, I am proficient in finding more information on credible website, and overall the training has prepared me well.
Miss Nurul Fitrani, has this internship experience changed any career plans you might have had?
Okay, so initially, I definitely yes, because initially I wasn't sure of my career path. Maybe I had something in mind, but I wasn't sure whether the role is suitable to my preference. So through internship, I get to learn about my weaknesses, my strengths, and I also gain insight on the area of QA/QC in the process of food distribution. So I would say that the pace was hectic, but it was fun and challenging as I get to explore about how food distribution works, and also I can get to see it every day. So it was an eye opener for me, and it gained my interest in the area of QA/QC, and I wouldn't mind working in such industry in the future.
Thank you so much, Miss Nurul Fitriani, for
Thank you.
sharing your internship experience with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we will conclude this morning's session with a Q&A segment. Please remember to post your questions on the platform provided if you have yet to do so. Our panel of speakers has given us insights into careers in the food and nutrition industry. The Diploma in Food, Nutrition and Culinary Science offers a broad-based curriculum, giving students a solid foundation in the three areas of food science, nutrition, and culinary science. In year one, students do common subjects like chemistry, microbiology, physiology, while picking up fundamental culinary and baking skills. From year two, students learn important subjects like product development and marketing, food additives, lifespan nutrition, sensory science, and get to explore elective subjects of their choice. In year three, elective cluster options in applied nutrition, food technology, and central kitchen technology allow students to pursue their passion in these respective areas. They will have their internships and complete their major projects in these related areas as well. Technical team, can we have the first question? Well, this question is about somebody interested to start their own cafe. Would Mr. Andrew Joe take this question, please?
Sure, Madam Ong. I think many budding F&B entrepreneur would like to start cafe, immediately after their graduation or after gaining some working experience. But in my opinion, I think before starting your own business, it is very important that you gain some working experience under a good chef, because you really need a good mentor to start your F&B career. Yeah, don't do it in a hurry. And the failure rate in the cafe segment is actually very high. Like for example, before the pandemic, we saw 450 cafes, new cafes open, and then the next year you see 450, about the same number of cafe closed down. So I call it the mortality rate is very high. So you have to be very careful. So to start any cafe, which is very competitive in nature, it is important that you have a USP, your unique selling point. What is your USP? You have to be better than your competitors, right, in order to stand out. So, but I also have seen many successful cafe run by newbies or people with little F&B experience, but they made it. Yeah. So, for example, they specialize in nasi lemak, but the nasi lemak is very special because they use two kinds of rice, and then the rice has got colors, using natural coloring from plant, and then instead of fried, they use baked. Instead of the usual fried chicken, they probably use more seafood. So as long as you are unique, so you probably will get more attention. And I think always believe in using good ingredients, healthy ingredients, or sustainable ingredients, because that is what people are looking out for today. And in terms of the investment, it depends on the size of the cafe. I would say a typical cafe would be about 500 to 1,002 square feet, right? So typically about 30 to 60 seats, right? And the investment will cost you anything from 50,000 to 200,000, depending on the setup and what kind of equipment you want to use. And always choose your location. Unless you have a very, very, very unique selling point that will make your cafe a destination. Otherwise, you would depend on foot traffic. So if your cafe is at the high foot traffic area, chances of success is greater. But mind you, high foot traffic areas are very expensive, especially in the mall. And I don't see rent is coming down, even in this kind of situation. And there are still crazy landlords who are still asking for more and more and more rent. So you have to be really, very careful in choosing your location. I think, again, don't be in a hurry. I mean, make sure that you work for established F&B before you embark on a business on your own. Thank you. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, the second question, are there many companies or restaurants needing R&D chefs now? Mr. Andrew, would you be able to give us some insights into this?
Yes. You see, R&D chefs are usually, to be an R&D chef, first of all, you must be a good chef. It's not like R&D chef, a fresh graduate. I don't think that is possible for restaurant. I'm not sure about for food industry, but not for restaurants. You see, you first of all, you have to know food well, and you have to be a good cook yourself before you can become an R&D chef working behind the scene. And I've seen many of that. And typically, chefs wouldn't want to work behind the scene. They want to do it themselves. They want to interact with customers. That is a typical chef. Huh? So, but once in a while, they would participate behind the scene to do some R&D. So that is typically the kind of chef that I'm dealing with. Because chefs, they have their ego. They want to, they want to be seen. Oh, this is my product. Yeah. But at the same time, they also like to help other chefs. And at times, they don't mind to work behind the scene. to do some R&D. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Okay, this question seems to be directed to Miss Parimala.
Hi. The question is, what are the challenges working with the athletes? Okay. Well, as a dietitian, I think eating is basically a behavior change. So that's already a first challenge. You're telling someone, how to eat better, eat for your sport. That takes some time for them to adapt. So that is a challenge, the first part. There are so much of knowledge, so much of practices they've already been doing before they even have met you. So changing that will take some time for them to convince them. So small, simple strategies, seeing tangible results will convince in the process of your guidance, basically. So that would what I would think of, working challenge with the athletes. And I work with different kinds of athletes. I work with athletes who have disabilities as well. They are under the Paralympic, scope. And they have various different kind of disabilities. For example, blind, not able to hear, intellectually, challenged. And so we need to think about ways how to convey the nutritional messages to them. And we can understand how to put it in place in practice as well. So one example is working with a blind athlete, and how I'm going to show about portion size to them, to him. And so I need to think about ways how, that can be delivered. And these are the skills that we would learn in maybe when we are learning, we're having a degree program or a diploma program. But sometimes when you come into practice, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Okay, how am I going to convince? So we tweak it based on, the person you're seeing, the understanding level, and so on and so forth. So, and I think this is a good challenge, interesting challenge, because it enriches oneself to learn more how to actually deliver the knowledge that you have in a way they can understand.
Thank you, Ms. Parimala.
You're welcome.
Okay, this question I think is about the cost, whether the ingredients used in the kitchen are halal, and if not, how would Muslim students cope? Let me share my answer. Our kitchens are not halal certified. Yeah? So for the sake of learning and exposure, it would be good for all students to learn the cooking and handling of different types of products. So we provide gloves and all that, but at no point, right, is a Muslim student ever be asked to taste, right, of non-halal products. Yeah, so we do respect that. Thank you. Next question, please. Okay, are there many food practical in this course? Right, let me answer this question. Now, our course is very skills-based. Right, so definitely many subjects with many practical lessons, because these will be the opportunity for the students to be hands-on, to pick up skills, to explore and learn. Next question, technical team. Okay, so this one is about career options, and can one become a food and nutrition teacher from this course? Well, our course trains students for three main areas, right? Dietetic technologists, nutrition assistants, health educator will be one, food technologist will be another, R&D chef will be one. Yes, we do have quite a few of alumni who has joined the teacher training course and teaching food and nutrition in a secondary school setting. I think we have time for one last question. How are the teachers or lectures like? How are the teachers or lectures like in this course? I'm not quite sure what is meant by teachers or lectures. Okay, just to share, maybe Miss Nurul Fitrani, you'd like to share, being our third year student. Miss Nurul, can you unmute, please?
So the teachers and lecturers, of course, they are very helpful and very engaging. So if let's say they'll always like if you face any difficulties, like if you like didn't do great in that certain subject, there will be like they will conduct additional classes for you to do better for in that subject. And I wouldn't say that the teachers is very like strict or whatever in the classroom. They I don't know. It's like I can.
So you're saying that so far for your 3 years here, you found them to be approachable and helpful,
Yes,
and they go the extra mile to make sure you learn. Let's sum up what you want to say.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid this is all the time we have for question and answer. I hope the session this morning has given you fresh insights into some careers in the food and nutrition industry. I would like to express my deepest appreciation to our 4 speakers this morning, Mr. Andrew Jo, Miss Parimala, Miss Jocelyn, and Miss Nurul Fitriani. Thank you once again for your time, your support, and sharing of your knowledge and experience with us. This is so invaluable in helping our audience make informed choices about courses and careers. We are organizing this Future of Food Baking Challenge for secondary 1 to 3 students. Do consult your FNN teachers on participation details. Hurry! Closing date for registration is 30th November. As usual, we will be having our open house, but this January it will be virtual open house. Look out for more details on our website. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending your hour with us. Have a wonderful afternoon. Goodbye.